A very good morning, students. Today we will learn about system call. It's one of the important topic in operating system. Let us see what is system call. A system call is a mechanism that provides the interface between a process and the operating system. It is a programmatic method in which a computer program requests a service from the kernel of the operating system. In other way, system call offers the services of the operating system to the user programs via application programming interface. System calls are the only entry point for the kernel system. If the user wants to enter into the kernel system, they should go through the system call. From this diagram, we can see how the system call works. You have a kernel mode, there you will execute the system call. In the user mode, user process executing, get a system call and execute it in the kernel mode and return from the system call. As can be seen from this diagram, the process executes normally in the user mode until a system call interprets this. Then the system call is executed on the priority basis in the kernel mode. After the execution of the system call, the control returns to the user mode and the execution of the user processes can be resumed. You have 4 steps. The first one is processes executed in the user mode till the time a system call interrupts it. Second step, after that the system call is executed in the kernel mode on the priority basis. Once the system call execution is over, control returns to the user mode. The execution of the user processes resumed in the kernel mode. Why we need a system call? The following situation exists, then we need a system call. First one, if a file system requires the creation or deletion of the files, reading and writing from the files also requires a system call. Next situation is creation and management of new processes. Network connections also require system calls. This includes sending and receiving packets. Access to a hardware devices such as printer, scanner requires a system call. Let us see what are the different types of system calls. There are mainly 5 types of system calls. First one is process control. These system calls deals with the processes such as process creation, process termination, etc. Second one is file management. These system calls are responsible for file manipulation such as creating a file, reading a file, writing a file into a file. Third one, device management. These system calls are responsible for device manipulation such as reading from the device buffers, writing into device buffers. Fourth one is information maintenance. These system calls handle information and its transfers between the operating system and the user program. The fifth one is communication. These system calls are useful for inter-process communication. They also deal with creating and deleting communication connections. They may ask this for 2 to 3 marks. You don't have the system calls in detail. Any doubt when I do the online class, you can clarify with me. Just go through it and remember what is a system call, why we need a system call, under what situation you require a system call, and types of system calls we have learned. Please go through this. Any doubt when I conduct the Google Meet, at that time you can clarify with me. Thank you.